And this is a great segue into AI and machine learning in terms of you've been practicing deep learning and you're following deep learning. Are you using it for anything in particular? Is it more NLP? Is it computer vision? Is it both? What are you seeing as and how is it impacting your industry?
I'm actually super excited about how advanced some of the models have become to do things like real-time voice analysis, which then powers, and there are, these are NLU models, natural language models powering, but this enables us to real-time check the sentiments of the customers, the conversations, the intents, and do some smart routing to match where the skills of the people who could help people who are calling in or chatting with us about any item of significance in their day-to-day journey, being a digital bank. I think it's super critical for this industry as we navigate omnichannel experience. I think I'm also excited about bridging, and when I say omnichannel, and you look at a digital bank that's completely online, people say, well, how do you bridge the online versus the offline? And where is the offline component in this ecosystem? And I say to them that if you think about the customer care, the agent experience side of the house, there's a lot of need for using machine learning to predict staffing needs, demand, and actually doing intelligent classifications for them to do case management work. And I see the bridging of the online and offline there, and actually streamlining back office operations quite a bit for a digital bank as well, right? That's how I see AI and ML. We haven't dabbled yet in OCR or machine vision type of stuff for other back office operations as we would like, but the possibilities are endless, in my opinion.
Right. So as I recall, Ally was I don't know about pioneer, but certainly early days in terms of voice, recognition and banking functionality through, I don't even know why we call this a phone anymore. It's really my travel agent. It's my financial advisor. It's my concierge. It's my butler. The least of the things it does is help me with a voice communication, a voice call, right? But It clearly is beneficial. So is that you guys are doing voice? You're using NLP in terms of chatbots? What are the ways in which you're leveraging it? You're right.
Yeah, I have fantastic peers of mine who are very engaged in building NLP models right now. They're also they're always constantly evaluating the latest and the greatest to bring on board. Very, very excited about truly getting into a sophisticated voice and chatbot, so speech to text, text to speech capabilities that are being evaluated right now.
Okay, interesting. And so there are companies that aren't as, let's say, mature as your organization in their pursuit of AI and machine learning. What are those companies that are working on it, but they're not yet into production level, workloads, right? They're not yet have fed their models into applications and they're deriving either customer benefit or internal benefit. What's something they need to plan for? What's something that is going to make them faster or better in terms of moving their aspirations and model building into an actual application?
These are all great questions. And I would say before organizations embark on full-blown AI initiatives, it is good for leaders to take stock of their current state situation with their ability to access data where it resides. Because before they can be AI success, I think there needs to be, data needs to be available for exploration, hypothesis development, because this can be very challenging if data is behind a lot of old legacy systems moving it all in time, or it might be in a place where it's accessible, but it's not ready for exploration that is free form. And just moving the data to make it visible to the analysts who can, or the scientists who can look at the data to evolve and formulate those hypotheses can in and out of itself be a journey, and it take time. For me, also, how much of the capabilities exist in-house versus in SaaS products, because this then means your data could be in other vendor platforms that you might be limited with how you explore and touch and feel that data. I would say organizations should never be afraid to start with rules-based systems. So if the data is available, let's say they have a clear path to how to make the data accessible. It could be a centralized approach that they take, or a federated, more self-service model. But once that data becomes available for exploration, never be afraid to run models in parallel with your existing rule systems or processes to evaluate model performance. I would say all good organizations that I have seen that have had or achieved scale with setting up for AI have always had a hub and a spoke model, where the spokes closest to the data, the people sitting in, out of curiosity, nurture their passion, understand open source models, and then a hub actually provides the centralized deep expertise needing for evaluating models. And I would recommend organizations take that approach, because it helps. There's a sort of buying naturally built in, because the consumers who are maybe even providers of that data have a vested stake in it, and the modelers get easy access to the data. And that tends to work really, really well for AI success.
Yeah,
but they should never be afraid to run it in parallel with what processes they have today to see if AI is truly going to enable outcomes that wasn't possible any other way. That way you also get it to whittle down to the very core use cases where AI might be a game changer.
Yeah, that's a great advice and a good characterization, Mahi, in the hub and spoke model, because there you've got a sort of trusted governance in place, and yet all of the other possibilities of use cases. Could be precision finance, it could be risk management, it could be, in another touch point, you could be adopting reinforcement learning at some point in order to, frame customer behavior or provide opportunities to your customers. But having the hub and spoke model, as you described it, is a great, I'd call it, governance practice to enable that. So it's an interesting model.